Christopher Pike is the pseudonym of American author Kevin Christopher McFadden. Born November 12, 1955, he is a best-selling author of young adult and children's fiction. History. McFadden was born in New York City in 1955, but grew up in California. He attended college briefly before dropping out and working various jobs such as house painting and computer programming. He initially tried his hand at writing science fiction and adult mystery, but later began writing teen thrillers due to an editor's suggestion. His first attempt resulted in the 1985 novel Slumber Party, a book about a group of teenagers who run into bizarre and violent events during a ski weekend. The book was an immediate success and Pike's career as a young adult author took off. In addition to his young adult novels, he has written several juvenile novels under the Spooksville series title, as well as several adult novels such as his 1990 hit book, Sooty. Though their peak popularity reigned at the same time, Pike was commonly heralded as the author R.L. Stein's Goosebumps and Fear Street readers turned to for a more mature novel, sitting as the middle ground with Stephen King the level above Pike. On November 25, 1996, his book Fall into Darkness was adapted into a television movie of the same name, produced by his company Christopher Pike Productions. Grandfather Paradox. In the 1993 novel The Eternal Enemy, Pike came up with a particularly convoluted version of the classic grandfather paradox, a paradox of time travel in which inconsistencies emerge through changing the past, with the commonly used name coming from the variant used in various stories, books and films, whereby a person travels to the past and kills their own grandfather, preventing the existence of their father or mother and therefore their own existence. Pike's version begins deceptively with the protagonist Rella seeming an ordinary American teenager who lives in Los Angeles, is good at her studies, works at a library to earn some dollars, likes Cheerios and boys, and is especially very fond of one specific boy, her classmate Chris. Having suffered amnesia, Rella is unaware that in fact she is a time traveler from the future, that Chris is in fact her grandfather, and that she had come back in time with the specific intention of killing him. That is because Chris, in addition to becoming her grandfather, would become a brilliant scientist who would create a race of cyborgs and robots, and they would eventually supersede human beings and make humanity extinct. However, even when recovering her memory, Rella can't bring herself to go through with killing Chris, deeply loving him, and knowing the young Chris to be innocent of any wrongdoing which his future self would commit. Rather, it is Rella who gets killed by her grandfather, who in the far future became himself a ruthless, pitiless robot and came back in time to eliminate the threat posed by her. Still, Rella ultimately succeeds in her mission of changing the future and saving humanity. Before dying, she manages to leave a secret message to Chris, revealing the truth. Reading it, Chris becomes determined never to create robots and cyborgs, or become one himself. The grandfather paradox was described as early as 1931. And even then it was described as the age-old argument of preventing your birth by killing your grandparents. Since then, it was repeatedly depicted by various science fiction writers, but never before in quite the way Pike came up with. Works: young adult fiction, Slumber Party, 1985, Weekend, 1986, The Tachyon Web, 1986, Last Act, 1988, Spellbound, 1988, Gimme a Kiss, 1988, Scavenger Hunt, 1989, Remember Me, 1989, Fall into Darkness, 1990, See You Later, 1990, Witch, 1990, Whisper of Death, 1991, Die Softly, 1991, Bury Me Deep, 1991. Master of Murder, 1992. Monster, 1992. Road to Nowhere, 1993. The Eternal Enemy, 1993. The Immortal, 1993. The Wicked Heart, 1993. The Midnight Club, 1994. The Last Vampire, 1994. The Lost Mind, 1995. The Visitor, 1995. The Starlight Crystal, 1996. The Star Group, 1997. Execution of Innocence, 1997. Hollow Skull, 1998. Magic Fire, 1999. The Grave, 1999. The Secret of Car, 2010. To Die For, Omnibus Collects Slumber Party and Weekend, 2010. Time of Death, Omnibus Collects Bury Me Deep and Chain Letter, 2011. Master of Murder, Omnibus Collects Last Act and Master of Murder, 2011. Bound to You, Omnibus Collects Spellbound and See You Later, 2012. Witch World, 2012. Black Knight, Witch World 2, 2014. Strange Girl, 2015. Series. Cheerleaders, Cheerleaders No. 2. Getting Even, 1985. Christopher Pike only wrote one book in this 47-book series. Other writers of this series include Caroline B. Cooney and Diane Ho. Chain Letter, 1986. Chain Letter 2. The Ancient Evil, 1992. Chained Together, Omnibus Collects Chain Letter 1 and 2, 1994. Final Friends, Final Friends 1. The Party, 1988. Final Friends 2. The Dance, 1988. Final Friends 3. The Graduation, 1989. Final Friends Trilogy, Omnibus Collects Final Friends 1, 2 and 3, 1999. Until the End, Omnibus Collects Final Friends 1, 2 and 3, 2011. Remember Me, Book Series. Remember Me, 1989. Remember Me 2. The Return, 1994. Remember Me 3. The Last Story, 1995. Remember Me, Omnibus Collects Remember Me 1, 2 and 3, 2010. The Last Vampire, The Last Vampire, 1994. The Last Vampire 2. Black Blood, 1994. The Last Vampire 3. Red Dice, 1995. The Last Vampire 4. Phantom, 1996. The Last Vampire 5. Evil Thirst, 1996. The Last Vampire 6. Creatures of Forever, 1996. The Last Vampire 7. The Eternal Dawn, 2010. The Last Vampire 8. The Shadow of Death, 2011. The Last Vampire 9. The Sacred Veil, 2013. Thirst. Omnibus editions of The Last Vampire. Thirst No. 1 Omnibus Collects The Last Vampire 1, 2 and 3, 2009. Thirst No. 2 Omnibus Collects The Last Vampire 4, 5 and 6, 2010. Thirst No. 3 The Last Vampire 7. The Eternal Dawn, 2010. Thirst No. 4 The Last Vampire 8. The Shadow of Death, 2011. Thirst No. 5 The Last Vampire 9. The Sacred Veil, March 5, 2013. Thirst No. 6. TBA. As of August 2016, Pike has said that this book will be self-published when it's finished. Thirst No. 7. TBA. As of August 2016, Pike has said that this book will be self-published when it's finished. He declared that this book would be the final one of the series. Spooksville. Spooksville, series of 24 children's books, 1995 to 1999. Alosha. Alosha, 2004. An animated movie version was in development. according to Pike's Facebook page. The Shaktra, 2005. The Yanti, 2006. Nemi, TBA, according to Pike. The book is complete, though will only be released if the movie adaptation of ALOSHA goes well. Short stories. Tales of Terror, 6 original short stories. Includes a Master of Murder sequel. The Fan from Hell, 1997. Tales of Terror No. 2, 5 original short stories. Includes a Master of Murder sequel. The Burning Witch, 1998. Anthologies. 13 Tales of Horror by 13 Masters of Horror, ed. T. Pines. Contains Pike's stories Collect Call and Collect Call 2. The Black Walker, 1991. 666. The Number of the Beast, contains Pike's story Saving Face. 2007. Adult Fiction. Sati. 1990. The Season of Passage. 1992. The Listeners. 1995. The Cold One. 1995. Seedling. Planned sequel to The Cold One, but was never written. The Blind Mirror. 2003. Falling. 2007. The Sixth Door. TBA. Interaction with fans. In 1996, fans of Christopher Pike founded the unofficial website and mailing list The Midnight Club, inspired by the book of the same name. Members chose book characters as aliases, used the mailing list to discuss Pike's books, and published original works on the website. In 1997, Pike dedicated Execution of Innocence to founding and active members Scott and Shannon. In 2001 the club disbanded, but a partial archive can still be accessed on Riosities. Pike used to be very elusive and kept his mystery up by hardly interacting with his fans. In more recent years, however, he often posts updates and replies on his official Facebook page. Christopher Pike Fan Club, up-to-date news and information regarding Christopher Pike and his novels. Christopher Pike at the Internet Speculative Fiction Database. Christopher Pike's official Wattpad profile.